Dr. Joseph Charles, Coordinator, School of Management, coordinators of this faculty development program, faculty members, delegates, and my dear participants. It's my humble, pleasant privilege to address and felicitate the entire gathering at the inauguration of this 7 days national level faculty development program organized by the School of Management. First of all, I would like to appreciate the effort of the entire School of Management for organizing such a contextual faculty development program titled Machine Learning and Data Visualization using Python, focusing on one of the most versatile and widely used programming languages of our time. In the past few decades, technology is growing swiftly, and the usage and scope also increased significantly, which affects the life of people and changes the way of their learning, thinking, and communication. In the realm of education, Python provides an excellent platform for introducing learners to the world of programming. Its syntax is clear and concise, making it an ideal choice for beginners. From data science and artificial intelligence to web development and automation, Python is at the forefront of technological advancements. The role of data analytics and Python in academia is becoming increasingly prominent for educators and researchers across various disciplines. And of course, expertise in Python programming offers numerous benefits, including research and publications, teaching and learning, predictive modeling and decision making, efficient data management, interdisciplinary collaborations, and continued professional development. The integration of data analytics and Python into academia empowers educators and researchers to conduct robust, data-driven research that enhances the quality of teaching and contributes to the overall advancement of knowledge and innovation within academic institutions. As educators, expanding our knowledge of Python opens up new possibilities for research collaborations and projects that can contribute to the ever-evolving landscape of technology. Once again, I congratulate the entire department, the entire School of Management, on behalf of the entire Christu Jayanti College management for such a credible initiative in the form of this relevant faculty development program. And also, I wish the participants an enriching time throughout this 7 days FTP. Thank you, all the best.
Dear Father, we thank you for your inspiring and thought-provoking words. The session for today deals with an introduction to data analytics. The resource person for the session is Dr. P.C. Geeta. It is my pleasure to introduce ma'am. Dr. P.C. Geeta holds a doctoral degree in management and has around 15 years of teaching experience and 12 years of industrial experience in varied sectors. Currently, she is working as an associate professor at School of Management, Christu Jayanti College. She has published more than 25 research papers in national and international journals and chapters in books in the areas of HR analytics and so on. She has served as a resource person in the field of research, analysis, and HR analytics. I now request ma'am to take over the session. Thank you.
Aarti, will you stop sharing?
Aarti, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Perfectly all right. Proceed.
A very good evening to all the participants. Welcome to the 7-day FTP program on data analytics using Python. So in today's session, I'm Dr. PC Geeta, and I'm going to talk about or introduce the concept data analytics and also talk about Python and its features and why Python is the most used programming language across the globe. So let's move on. So the agenda of today's session is as follows. So we are going to see what is analytics, what is business analytics, why business analytics is important and organizations are using business analytics as a competitive edge across industries. We're going to talk about the benefits of data analytics to organizations using some caselets. And we will also talk about the different tools which are available for data analytics. Finally, we will talk about why Python is the most used programming language across the globe. So moving on, let's start with data analytics. So what do you think is analytics? So analytics is a systematic computational analysis of data. So data is available at all places. So organizations today have a huge database available with them, and a lot of data is being generated on a day-to-day, minute-to-minute basis. So when this data is available, organizations need to understand the data, find patterns in the data, and using these patterns, they want to take meaningful decisions. So the objective of analytics is to help organizations take decisions very effectively and with the help of so that the organization will be able to reap its benefits in the organization. So moving on to what is business analytics. Okay. So before that, let's see, this particular slide talks about the use of data or how data is being generated on a day-to-day basis. So this is a statistic based on 2022 data. And in 2022, it was researched and found that every minute of the day, people are using various kind of applications or softwares or social media, and all this applications are being used in enormous numbers, as a result of which a lot of data is being generated. So the data that is generated is very, very huge. And when this data is available with an organization or with a marketing analyst, it is like having a hot cake in his hands. So it helps him to understand his customers. It helps him to understand the market. It helps him to understand the various nuances of the industry, which helps him to take meaningful decisions. As a snapshot, let's see here. So it says that Google users conducted 5.9 million searches in a minute. Twitter users shared 347 followed by another 2000 tweets. And then Snapchat users sent 2.43 million snaps. YouTube users uploaded 500 hours of video in 1 minute. So this is just a snapshot of what is happening across us. So organizations, people as individuals, as organizations are creating or generating a huge mass of data. Now, when this huge mass of data is generated, companies or organizations or institutions use this data meaningfully to find patterns, and based on the patterns, they take decisions in the organizations. So there are majorly 5 factors that drive the growth of data analytics in India. So before we go to India, let us see how the global internet population has grown. So in 2016, there were around 3.4 billion population which was using internet. Whereas in 2022, it has reached 5 billion population. And out of this 5 billion population, it is said that 93% of them were social media users. Okay, so 93% were social media users, which meant that so much of data they themselves are generating in the social media platforms. So it is also said that in 2022, 97 zettabytes of data were created. And in 2025, this is set to grow up to 181 zettabytes. So if anybody is wondering about what is a zettabyte, zettabyte is equal to 1 trillion of gigabyte, the GB that we are talking now. So it's 1 trillion of GB is called as a zettabyte, and so much will be the data which will be generated in the social media platforms. So coming to the factors that drive the growth of data analytics. So the first one is increase in data generation at an individual level. So think as an individual, you might be having 4 or 5 email accounts. You might be a member in Facebook, in Twitter, in Snapchat, in various other social media platforms like LinkedIn and so on. You might be actively participating in 4 or 5 e-commerce platforms where you buy and sell things. And you might also be a part in various communities or forums where you share information and where you post information. Now, this kind of data you are generating. So when you are a part of all these platforms, by your post, by your emoji, by your thumbs up sign, you are creating data. So this data is increasing. The data generation at an individual level is increasing. The next is the data generation at the level of the organization is also increasing. So across the organization, there are a lot of technology developments that has taken place today. Now, with the help of technological development, the organization is capturing data. So the organization wants to know what his employees are doing during the work hours. So a lot of data is being captured about the particular employee, including what are the websites seen by the particular employee in his system during the office hours, how many times he's away from his seat. So all such information is gathered to increase the productivity or performance of an employee at the organizational level. Since data is available at very, very large numbers, at very, very large quantity, the companies want to use the data. The companies feel that, okay, I have data today. I also have the means and the technology to make use of the particular data. So let me use it and let me take meaningful decisions. So companies have a compelling need today to have the competitive edge with the help of data. The tools for analysis are also getting better day by day. So every day there is a technological advancement, there is a growth, and as a result of which organizations are also wanting to use this analytical techniques, tools, etc., to take meaningful decisions or to make meaningful decisions. The next is increased awareness of the process of data analysis. As an occupation, as a job, analyst job is growing in significance. So today the buzzword is analytics, and in the opportunity column, the buzzword is analyst. So analysts are in great demand today across various functions and also on the engineering side or the back end side of analytics. So a lot of people are studying, a lot of people are being expert in that particular area, and this also helps them or helps the organizations to be very strong in the area of analytics. Another statistic said that in 2020, every person generated 1.7 megabytes in just a second. And internet users generated about 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every day. So this is how the data is generated in large volumes. Just to reiterate my earlier point, now we will move on to business analytics. So what is business analytics? Application of analytics in business is called as business analytics. When you use analytics in an organizational setup or in a business setup, which helps you to take a meaningful decision or the right decision, which is backed by data, that is called as business analytics. So here, every organization has problems. Okay, organization has issues, problems. They want solutions for various aspects. Now, when an organization has a problem, they look for how to solve the particular problem using an analytical approach. So when they use analytical approach, they cannot take decisions based on gut feeling. They have to really back up whatever they say based on data. So when they take an analytical approach, they look for the data requirements. So they have to have data, or they have to have access to data based on which they will try to analyze the data. So when they know what is the data that they require for solving a particular problem, they use data collection methods, understand the data or collect the data. So when you collect the data is said to be very raw. So the data has to be cleaned and prepared. And once the data is prepared, they run a lot of modeling techniques on that. They try to find meaningful patterns in the data. And based on the modeling patterns, they are able to come to conclusions or come to decisions based on the data. So when the decisions are taken, they implement the decisions, and the feedback or the outcome of those decisions are once again taken as feedback, and the process continues. So this is the general process of business analytics and how it works across organizations. So business analytics is the process of using quantitative methods. So we use arithmetical modeling, statistical tools, techniques to analyze the data, find meaningful pattern in the data, and make informed decisions. Now coming to the difference between data analytics and data analysis. So the difference is very narrow or very meager. So when we talk about analyzing the past data and understanding what has happened in the past. So when you understand what has happened in the past, based on the analysis of the data, that is called as data analysis. But if you take it further, if you take it one step or two steps further, you analyze the past data, find meaningful patterns in the data, and you project the meaningful patterns or in the future by forecasting, by using any other technique. So you are using the past data to understand, and based on the past data, if you start predicting the future, then it becomes analytics. So analysis stops with just analyzing the past data, whereas analytics takes it forward and tries to understand or tries to predict the future. So this is the difference between data analysis and data analytics. Next, we are going to talk about why organizations should use business analytics. Okay, why organizations should use business analytics. A lot of research has happened in this particular area, and it has been proved again and again that analytics or business analytics helps the organizations in various aspects, which includes enhancing customer experience. So based on the data that they have with them, they try to understand you as a customer. So when they understand you as a customer, they know what are your needs. So according to your needs, they customize the product, they customize the service, which in turn makes you happy. As a result of which, the customer feels satisfied, the customer feels blessed to stay and to stick on with the organization. Analytics also help us to take meaningful, informed decisions. So when we say informed decisions, we are coming to the decision based on the data availability. So we are taking the decision very logically, very practically based on the data. We are not taking any decision based on intuition or gut feeling. So that is very important in an organization. You need to back up your decision based on data. So that is making meaningful or informed decisions. So it has been proved in organizations when they use HR analytics, they are able to reduce the employee turnover, improve efficiency of employees and the overall organization. Several financial organizations and institutions, including banks, have used analytics to identify fraudsters, to identify frauds and the possibility of a fraud happening. So one such way is the credit worthiness of a particular individual, which also determines whether he is credible or not. So that is also a result of analytics. The next is, in a manufacturing organization, analytics can help you to cut the manufacturing cost, to improve efficiency, to improve productivity. For all that, analytics can be used. As an investor, if you are using analytics, then you can also make the right decision of where to invest, when to invest, and how much to invest. So an investor can also be benefited by the help of analytics. Organizations or marketing companies can choose the right advertising strategy based on analytics, whether it is the right media, whether it is the right channel, whether it is the right time to advertise. So these kind of decisions can be taken based on analytics. Organizations can come out with the best product possible. So organizations can understand the customer better, and based on customers' understanding, they can come out with a customized product which can satisfy the customers. So Apple is doing a great job on that in understanding its customers and coming out with newer products every time based on analytics. And any problem that the organization faces, analytics helps them to understand the problem. So sometimes the problem, the cause of the problem might be internal, might be external. So whatever is the problem, you can understand the problem well with the help of analytics and thereby move forward in taking the right decision. The next is accelerate through uncertainty. So when we say uncertainty, every organization faces uncertainty because organizations are working in an VUCA environment, which is volatile, ubiquitous, complex, and ambiguous. So when it is like this, when it is uncertain and ambiguous, the organization needs to have analytics, or organization needs to know with the available data what is the right decision to take. So for which analytics helps the organization. So the next is conduct a competitor analysis. So analytics also helps us to understand how we stand in comparison with another organization. You might have noticed when you plan to buy a car or a mobile phone, now it compares, there are a lot of websites, e-commerce platforms, which compares one car with another car, which tells you this is the data available for this car, this is the data available for this car. So these are the reviews given, these are the reviews given, these are the features. And based on comparing two cars or comparing two mobile phones, you are able to take a right decision of what you should buy. So in such cases, competitor analysis is also possible with the help of analytics. Next, we are going to understand the levels of analytics. So the levels of analytics is given by Gartner And this is famously called as the Gartner's analytic ascendancy model. So here it takes us across 4 different levels of analytics, starting from descriptive analytics to prescriptive analytics. So when we say descriptive analytics, it is the same as analysis that I explained earlier. So what is descriptive analytics? There is some data, past data. We are studying the past data and we are understanding what has happened. So when there is data and you are studying the data to understand what happened in the past, so that is called as descriptive analytics. Now, when you go one step further and you not only try to understand what has happened, but also why it has happened. So let's take, for example, in your organization, when you analyze the past data, you have found that there are roughly around 50 accidents that has happened in the last 10 years, on an average 5 accidents per year. Now this is descriptive analytics. So you have analyzed the data and based on the analysis, you have come to a conclusion that on an average 5 accidents every year, and overall in the last 10 years, you have 50 accidents. So this is descriptive analytics. So next stage is diagnostic analytics. Now the company is interested in not only what has happened, but also why it has happened. What are the reasons why accidents have happened? So many accidents have happened in the last 10 years. So when you study or when you probe further and find out why these accidents has happened, that is called as diagnostic analytics. Let's say, for example, are the accidents happening during the daytime, during the evening time, or during the night time? Are they happening if the workers are doing double shifts at the same time? Is it happening in a particular shop floor? Is it happening in a particular location or in a particular factory? So these are some of the reasons that could have caused the accident. You can also find out whether training was given to these employees. Are they experienced employees? Are they freshers? So these kind of information is already available in the data. We are trying to link these factors with that of the cause of accident and find out why something has happened. Now, this is called as diagnostic analytics. The next is trying to find out what is going to happen. So we have the past record. We also have found out these are the causes of accidents. Now I want to know if the same situation continues. How many accidents are going to happen in the next year? How many accidents are going to happen in the next year? So when you want to understand the future based on the past, that is called as predictive analytics. Okay, that is called as predictive analytics. Now, organizations are not only interested in finding out what is going to happen in the future, but they also want to find out how do they achieve their objectives. Supposing their objective is to reduce the number of accidents to 1 maximum per year. So if that is their objective, the company wants to find out how do I bring the number of accidents from current 5 to 1. So that is called as prescriptive analytics. So as a data analyst, you try to understand the cause of accidents and you try to do a lot of combinations of what is causing the accident to happen. And when you control the factors that cause accidents, then naturally the number of accidents get reduced. So if you're able to go to your company and say, if we spend 100 hours of training for all shop floor employees in the next 3 months, we will reduce the number of accidents by 50%. Now, this is what the company is expecting. They want solutions. backed by data. So this is called as prescriptive analytics. So when we move from descriptive analytics to prescriptive analytics, you will find that the data is moving from information to optimization and from hindsight analysis to foresight analysis. When we move from descriptive analytics to prescriptive analytics, not only the complexity increases, but also the value that it brings to an organization increases. Okay, so that is the use, or that is the benefit of analytics. Now let's move forward. We are now going to see the impact of analytics on companies using small caselets. So the first caselet is from Microsoft. The company Microsoft wanted to improve its productivity and collaboration between its employees. So the problem started in the year 2015 when the company restructured, reorganized, and a few of its offices were relocated to newer locations. So organizational employees or these team members, they wanted to have face-to-face interactions so that they will be able to enhance the performance by collaboration. But what happened was, because they were all located at different places, they were finding it very difficult. They were losing a lot of time in travel and so on. So at that point of time, the analytics team of Microsoft came out with a solution. So they said that currently you are in 5 different locations. Now, if we are able to reduce the 5 locations to 4 locations, so one company's office or one of the members or the employees of that particular office have to move on to some other location of the remaining 4 locations. So by moving 1,200 people from 5 offices to 4, they were able to have better teamwork and reduce the time taken or the distance that was distance that the employees had to travel for meetings. So this has to give some outcome or result. See, analytics should always not only give you solutions, it should also result in benefit for the company. So in this particular case, this relocation has resulted in 100-hour work week savings. So the savings in terms of hours for an employee was 100 hours together, and they saved around $520,000 per year in employee time. So this is the benefit of analytics in Microsoft. Next, coming to another organization which is very much close to our hearts, which is Coca-Cola. So we all know the history of Coca-Cola, and their advertisements are the most sought after, and it has the maximum number of clicks and so on. So Coca-Cola wanted to understand about its customers, and they also wanted to refine the advertising strategy. So what they did was they gathered data. Okay, they gathered data and they analyzed the data. And for Coca-Cola, or for a company, FMCG company like Coca-Cola, their social media presence is very, very large. So it has around 35 million Twitter followers and 105 million Facebook fans. So these data was leveraged by the organization using social media analytics. So using social media analytics and AI fueled picture matching technology. So when you post a picture having Coca-Cola in your hand with a group of your friends, now that is analyzed by Coca-Cola's AI, and it tries to understand what is the context in which Coca-Cola is being served, or Coca-Cola is being used by its customers, to understand the customers better and to enable the organization to develop newer advertising strategy. So based on this social media analytics, the company came out with tailored advertisements to enhance customers or to enhance the customers' liking of a particular advertisement, and which will in turn result in more sales of Coca-Cola. So this is how Coca-Cola used social media analytics to benefit the organization. Coming to Tesla cars. So Tesla connects its cars wirelessly to its organization. So when it connects its car to its organization, it is able to gather information about the car on a live basis. So it is able to understand the problems or predict the problems that the car is going to face and comes out with timely solutions for its customers. So thereby the customers are happy and the organization is also able to serve its customers effectively. So this results in high customer appreciation and more informed decisions. Next, moving on to Netflix. So Netflix is another entertainment company which helps to, Netflix is a high entertainment organization which uses analytics to a greater extent. So it analyzes data, understands the data, and based on the data, it acts. And it has been highly successful company that it is said that more than an entertainment company, Netflix can be said as an analytics company because of the way they use analytics. Then Netflix creates a detailed profile on its customers, on its users. So it understands its users, what kind of picture, what kind of screen they see, when they see, how many times they see, when do they pause, and when do they complete a particular sequence and go to the next sequence. So it tries to understand a detailed information about its customers. Based on this information, they create a profile. They understand you as a person, what you like. And then when you go to the particular application again, Netflix again, it tells you, since you watched this, you might also like this, 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 and this, which is called as personalized recommendation engine. Okay, using analytics, they are able to personalize your recommendations based on your own liking. And Netflix has been highly successful in developing the content based on analytics. So whatever new content, the movie or the serial or the soaps that is being launched by Netflix is based on what you like to see and based on how much time you have watched a particular sequence or a particular serial. So that is how they develop the content. And the next is personalized artwork. So personalized artwork is, supposing there is a screen on your Netflix and you like to watch that particular picture again and again. Now that is being analyzed by Netflix and they create new customized pictures according to your interest. So your home page is very much customized according to you, your interest, and your friend's page, home page of Netflix might be customized according to his interest. So that is how they use personalized artwork to help them understand and customize content for the user. So they also use analytics to optimize their operations and benefit from analytics. Netflix is one of the market leaders. It is the market leader in the entertainment industry. And it has a market share of roughly around 48 to 50%, just slightly lower than 50% they have market share in the industry. Now, what are the key takeaways that we have from the caselets is that every organization is using analytics, and based on analytics, they are trying to customize the strategies according to the customers. They also use the feedback of the employees or the customers, and based on the feedback, they improvise the services. They also use advanced tools and analytics, and thereby, with the advanced tools and analytics, they are able to uh, have a competitive edge. And all this they do because they want to satisfy the customer. They want to improve the customer service. So this is the benefits of analytics to organizations. Now, this particular slide talks about the different types of tools that are available for data analysis or data analytics. Okay, so you have various tools available. So some are very specific for machine learning, deep learning. Some are general. So you also can see visualization platforms like Tableau, Power BI, having a main role to play in data analysis tools. We also see Excel, which is the most widely used software across organizations, also being one of the tools for data analysis, analytics, and so on. So now there are so many tools available. Okay, you have so many tools. What I have shown you is very limited. Okay, what I have shown you is very limited. Now, when so many tools are available for an analyst, what should he choose? What should determine, or what criteria should determine what tool he is going to use? So that is dependent upon the organization's business needs. Okay, that is dependent upon the organization's business needs. So what is organization's business needs? Every organization has a unique need. Okay, every organization has a need of its own. So you have to see what tool is going to satisfy your need. The next is, who is going to use this particular tool? Whether it is a data analyst, whether it's a data scientist, or whether it's a non-technical person. Then comes the question, do you require visualization support? What are the modeling capabilities that you are looking for and what the tool can give you? So the comparison or the match between your modeling requirements with that of the modeling capabilities of the particular tool. The price and the licensing also plays a significant role in deciding whether a particular tool is suitable for you. The last point is, the most expensive tools are not always the most feature complete. So you should not have a feeling that the more I pay, the more I get a license, then that is the best tool possible. It is not so. So users should not ignore the most available, robust, free solutions in the domain. So there are a lot of robust, free solutions that are available. So the analyst should consider all the tools before he decides what he is going to choose. Now we are going to see, because our FTP is on Python. Okay, our FTP is on Python. So we are going to see why Python is the most widely used tool. Okay, why Python is the most widely used tool. So first is, it is easy to learn and use. So Python is very easy to learn and to use. What is the reason is because it has a very simplified syntax, which is not at all complicated, and it has more emphasis on natural language. So it is easy for everybody to understand, to remember, and to use. So Guido van Rossum in the year 1980s, when he was creating Python, he was very sure about one thing. He said, no, this particular programming language is going to be based on natural language. It should be very simple, very easy to understand and to use. The next point is Python has a very mature and supportive Python community. So roughly around 35 to 40 years have passed since Python has been introduced into the domain of programming, and it is supported by a very mature and supportive community. So what do we mean by that? So there is a huge community that uses, huge group of people that use Python, and they come out with newer packages, newer libraries on a regular basis. And supposing you are stuck somewhere, there are a lot of people in the domain to come and help you or to suggest you the changes. So a lot of things are easily available. So it is a very mature and supportive Python community. Unless and until a programming language has this support, it cannot be so widely popular such as Python. The next is there is a lot of support from renowned corporate sponsors. So Python programming language is heavily backed by Facebook, Amazon Web Services, and Google. So Google adopted Python in the year 2006. They also have a dedicated portal for Python. And today we are going to use Python in Google Colab. So that is the platform where we are going to use Python. So I will be talking about it later on in the class. So like that, they also have support from corporates. The next point is hundreds of Python libraries and frameworks are available. So there are a lot of the whole world is very, very large and wide and diverse. Okay, so I can do research in the area of maths, in the area of life science, in the area of chemistry, in the area of computer science. So I want to do analysis in a particular domain. So whatever domain you are interested in doing a particular research, the Python will support you. So you have enormous number of libraries available on very diverse very diverse areas or diverse domains, which again makes it very versatile and very user friendly. As I told, Python is known for its versatility, efficiency, reliability, and speed. So when we talk about its versatility, it can be used in Windows, in Mac, and various other platforms. Then it can also be used in mobile applications and various other applications. Its applications is of very, very wide nature. So for all such purposes, and it's also highly efficient. So when we say efficient, it is very, very easy to execute a particular program in Python. And you have the debugging facility. It indicates where is the error and what kind of error you are facing. Then you can always rely on it, and the speed is also very high in execution of a particular program. So that is why Python is known for its benefits. Then Python can also be used for big data, machine learning, cloud computing, and so on. So there is no area that Python cannot be used. Python can be used in all such areas. Then Python is the first choice language for many people. So today, in the year 2023, we have around 30 million developers. And it is said that by the end of this decade, we are going to reach 45 million developers. So with this kind of a large base of developers, they tend to choose the most easy, the most friendly, the most usable programming language, and Python becomes the most sought after, whether it is a fresher or whether it is an expert. Then Python, it's known for its flexibility because of the variety of environments in which it can be used, such as mobile applications, desktop applications, web development, hardware programming, and so on. Today, we see Python has become the craze not only in the programming domain or in the development domain, but also in schools and colleges. So Python is the sought after language that not only in high school but also in mid school also now they have started teaching Python because of its ease of usage and because of its natural language. It becomes much easier to use. The next is Python is interpreted, okay, rather than compiled. It is interpreted, which means that it can interpret the code line by line at runtime. So it interprets the code without the need for pre-runtime compilation. Because this pre-runtime compilation is not there, the execution becomes very fast, and that thereby the language is mostly preferred by developers. And also it helps in identification of the source of runtime errors. So supposing there is an error in your code, it indicates what is the error, what type of error you are facing, which also simplifies the process of debugging. Coming to the most important and the final point of why Python is mostly used by organizations or by developers, it is because it is open source. You do not have to pay for it. You need not have a license to use it. And that is one major benefit for its wider adoption by various people across industries, across institutions, and so on. So next, we're going to talk about integrated development environment. So this IDE, it is called as in a short form, this IDE is a platform or is an application where the developers or the programmers develop the code efficiently. So in this particular platform, you have various capabilities such as the editing, building, testing, packaging, and all this is required for a developer, and he uses all this effectively so that he will be able to execute the code or execute the program effectively. So IDE provides all this, and for Python, we have the following IDEs available. So we are going to use Google Colab for the next 6 days of the FTP to learn lot of programming of Python, programming in Python. Next, coming to applications of Python. So the applications of Python is Python can be used effectively for web application, software development, desktop GUI application, then game development, image processing, web scraping applications, data science applications, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. So you see its widespread applications or its widespread use of Python, and how Python helps developers of in different platforms, in different areas, in different domains to use Python effectively. Next, we are going to learn about functions, modules, and libraries. Okay, just imagine, I will explain this with a simple example. Okay, supposing there is a library, okay, and I want to pick a book in HR. Okay, I want to pick a book in HR. Now the library is very vast and the library is organized in a particular manner. So first demarcation is that you will have department wise, or you will have department wise. So management will be in one section, computer science will be in another section, life science will be in another section, humanities will be in another section. So now if you take humanities, within humanities, you have media studies, you have economics, you have public administration. So you have various fields in humanities, arts, English, yoga, music, it could be anything. So now again, within the particular domain, there are different places where these are once again classified. Okay, these are once again classified. Now, if I want to choose a book, or if I want to select a book in HR, then I have to go to management section. In management, we might be having production as one particular area, then finance might be another area, marketing might be another area, then HR might be another area, and then systems might be another area. Now, within HR, supposing I want a book on HR analytics, then I have to go into the analytics section of HR, where there will be an HR analytics book. So within HR, once again, you will have training and development, performance and reward management. You will have so many divisions. So like that, you can imagine a library. Okay, you can imagine a larger library. Now the library is made up of modules. Okay, the library is made up of modules, and within these modules, you will have various types of functions. Okay, within these modules, you will have various types of functions. Python is going to use the functions, the modules, and the available libraries for its requirement of execution. Okay, for its requirement of programming. So let us understand what is Python. So Python is a group of related statements that perform a specific task. So it is a group of related statements that have a specific function or a specific task. The next is it helps to reuse the particular code. So you can give a particular code again and again if you want to reuse the same function. If you want to use the same function, you can keep using the same code. Now, when the program becomes larger, the functions help the program to look organized and manageable. It helps them to easily arrange, and it looks very organized in Python. The next is in a function, a function takes some input from the user, or the system input, gives the input. Now, based on the input, it performs a certain activity, or it performs a certain operation, and then it gives the output. So the function takes some input and it performs a certain activity, and then it gives you an output, which is the result. So here we are going to see a small function called square root. Okay. Now the square root function is in the module called math. Okay, is in the module called math. So square root is a function, math is a module. Now see this particular sequence, or see this particular statement. Here it says, from math import square root. So from the module math, you are importing the function square root. Okay, you are importing the function square root. So square root is a function and math is a module. Now the square root is followed by an parenthesis or brackets. So it is asking the user to give a value within the brackets, and this bracket is called as argument. Okay, this bracket is called as argument. So now the square root of 4, that is what they want to find out. Now the output or the answer is equal to 2. Okay, so the input is given within the brackets. It performs the function called square root on the value within the argument, and it gives you an output called 2. So you have understood what is a function, you have understood what is a module now. So this is the use of function. Okay, this is the use of function. Now 2 is called the result, or 2 is called the return value. Whereas 4 within brackets is the input or is the argument that is given for a particular function. Now within an argument, you can also have multiple values you can have. So we understood what is a module. Module is a collection of functions. These are related with each other. So modules allow a larger program to be broken down into smaller functions or smaller areas. And this has a clearly specified capability. Now these modules can be developed by the user, or he can use an already existing module, or he can import a particular function from one module to another module. So all that is possible in the case of Python. So some of the examples of modules are math is a module, random is a module, and so on. Now what is a library? A group of related modules are called as libraries. They are pre-written code collections which enhances the ability or capability of Python. So you can do tasks such as data analysis, web development, machine learning. All that is possible with the help of libraries. Now, some of the libraries are matplotlib. Okay, matplotlib is for plotting numerical data in the form of charts. So that is a library which is used for plotting graphs. The next one is pandas. So pandas is used in data analysis, data manipulation, and data cleaning. So NumPy stands for numerical Python for its numerical operations. Then some of the other libraries which are used for various other platforms are TensorFlow, SciPy, Scrappy, Pygame, Seaborn, PyTorch, and so on. Okay, so these are libraries. So libraries contain modules, modules contain functions, and all these are used by the developer or by the programmer while writing his code so that he will be able to execute various functions. Now we are going to see how to use Python, how to use Colab to run or to open Python and work on Colab. So here first what you have to do is you have to go into your Google account. Okay, you open your Google account. After opening your Google account, you go to another window or another tab, and in that particular tab you type Google Colab. Okay, click on Google Colab and open it. So now I'm going to stop the PowerPoint and I'm going to show you. Yeah, you can use time series data in Python. Vinay, you can use time series data in Python. Okay, so now I'm going to open Google Colab. So I'm going to go to a new Okay, so I'm going to type Google Colab. So you can also try along with me. So now so what is the benefit of Google Colab? So Google Colab, the main benefit is that you don't have to install Python in your system. You are going to work on Python using Google Colab online, for which internet connectivity is a must. Now, why people will use Google Colab online is because, see, each of them have a different system, and this system has limitations. So when you are using Google Colab, we are using the Google's infrastructure to run Python or to run the program. One. Second thing is that the sharing possibility is also available. So what do you mean by sharing possibility? Supposing a team of developers are working on a particular project. Now I have written some code which I want somebody else to work and somebody else to change and recheck. Now, when I share, because it is going to be stored in your Google Drive, and when you share it with your people or colleagues, they will be also able to work. So this is more suitable in an official project, or where 4 or 5 people work together on a particular project. So sharing possibility is there. The next is machine learning, and in the case of deep learning, supposing you are running machine learning and deep learning, so when you are using those applications, then when you use Google Colab, it directly connects to the GPU and TPU. So GPU stands for graphic processing unit, and TPU stands for tensor processing unit. So they require a high infrastructure which your system will not support. So for all such purposes, Google Colab is very convenient and very useful. So that is why we are going to use Google Colab for the next 7 days to learn Python. Now in your search, you have the first search as welcome to Collaboratory. So do not click on that. There is next collab.google. Okay, collab.google.
Ma'am, screen is still in the PPT, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So is it visible now, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when you search for Google Colab in Google, then Google search, you will find the following searches available. So do not go to the first one, go to the second one, which is collab.google. So when you click on collab.google, the next page opens. So this is the page. So this is a Google Collaboratory page. So here you have open Colab and new notebook. Okay, open Colab and new notebook. So you click on new notebook. Okay, you click on new notebook. Okay, so you have this page which appears. So a few of you can also try, if you are right now using your system, you can open and try. So at the top you have the file name. Okay, so I'm just going to change it to class 1. Okay, so class 1 I am changing. So all the changes that we make on this particular sheet will be then and there saved in Google Drive. So now you see that saving is showing. All changes saved is also visible. So the changes are immediately saved in your drive. So there is no possibility of you losing your file or so. Now below this you have a code and text. Okay, so I'm going to click on text. So what is this text? The text is you are going to write a heading. So let's say arithmetic operations. Okay, so now I select this arithmetic operations, and it's not selected. Yeah, I've selected. I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to make it italic. So this is how on the right side you see, this is how the display is going to be. Okay, this is how the display is going to be. So I press, next I go to plus, I'm going to start a new code. So plus code means insert code cell below. So I'm going to insert a code cell. Now see here, the heading arithmetic operations appeared above the particular code. Okay, so if you want to create different codes and you want to have separate headings so that you will be able to understand what is it after a few days, then it is easier to have a heading. So now you have one arrow mark, okay, pointing rightwards to the left. So this is the run button. Okay, unless and until you write the code, you cannot run. So now we are going to do simple arithmetic operations. So here I am going to write A is equal to 10. So here, in the case of programming, it executes from right to left. So first, it takes the value 10 and the equal to stands for assigning. Okay. So the 10 is assigned to a variable called A. This is the meaning of A is equal to 10. Okay. So the number 10 is assigned to a variable called A. So that is the meaning of A is equal to 10. Supposing you want to equalize, then you have to use double equal to. So that we are not going to do now. So next I'm going to type B is equal to 5. Okay, B is equal to 5. Now again, a value 5 has been assigned to another variable called B. Now I'm going to find out what is A plus B. Okay, I'm going to find out what is A plus B. So now I'm typing A plus B and I'm going to run. Okay, so it returns the value called 15. Okay, it returns the value called 15. Now I can do several other arithmetical operations. So I'm going to go for another code. Now I want to find out A minus B. Okay, and I'm going to run it. So it says 5. Then I'm going to another code and say A divided by B. And I'm going to run it. So it says 2. Then I'm going to find out A into B. Okay, I'm going to find out A into B. So it gives me the value 50. So here the arithmetic operations are very simple to execute, very easy, and you can easily understand how the running time also is very less in the case of Google Colab. And now class 1 is the file that I have saved. Okay, class 1 is the file that I have saved. So now I'm just going to show you. See here. Now immediately the class 1 appears in my Google Drive. So this is how all your files that you do in Google Colab are on real time being saved in a particular in your own Google Drive. So for this, one important thing is you should open your Google account first, and the next important thing is that you should have internet connectivity. So this is the base. So please get used to this particular environment of Google Colab, because from tomorrow onwards we will be working on complex functions from tomorrow onwards. Okay. So with this, I have come to the end of today's session. Thank you very much. Is there any questions?
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. I hope there is no questions in the chat also. Okay.
Yeah, I think, since there are no questions,
Yeah.
and since the introduction is quite clear, I think we will just wind up. It's time.
Yeah.
Ardhima.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for the insightful session. And dear participant, please kindly note, we have created a Google Classroom for our FDP. So where you will find the session materials and assignments related to the program sessions. So we'll be sharing you the Google Classroom link in the WhatsApp group. Kindly join the link using your personal ID. So domain ID it will not take. So please use your personal mail ID. Yeah. Thank you all. So we'll meet tomorrow on the same time, 5:30 in the day 2 session.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I hope the introduction was quite informative, and hope to see you in the subsequent sessions.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, Geeta ma'am, thank you very much for that very solid foundation. on Python. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.